welcome to our Spiritism talk. My name is Publio. I'm gonna sing a couple of songs to prepare our environment, to prepare our heart for the lesson tonight. So the first song I'm gonna sing is called "Song to Mother Zephyrina." Source of love that radiates, warming up our cold nights, support and comfort, support and comfort, cascades from down the mountain, calling the children of earth with love in their hearts, with love in their hearts. My soul never loses hope, because your love always teaches me the solution lies in hard work. The solution lies in hard work. Oh, my mother Severina, harvest of wonderful blessings. Make your small son a good Christian. Make your small son a good Christian. Source of love that radiates, warming up our cold nights, support and comfort, support and comfort, cascades from down the mountain, calling the children of earth with love in their hearts, with love in their hearts. My soul never loses hope, because your love always teaches me the solution lies in hard work. The solution lies in hard work. Oh, my mother's Zephyrina, harvest of wonderful blessings. Make your small son a good Christian. Make your small son a good Christian. Music is vibration, vibration that touch our hearts. So next song called "Vibrate." When life lends a hand, it's time to open up your heart. It is time to love one another. It's time to take part. Vibrate always, loving and serving everyone. Vibrate always, loving and serving everyone. When we give our heart in charity, our lives are transforming into songs. Our dreams become reality, and we join Jesus for eternity. I pray always, loving and serving everyone. vibrate always, loving and serving everyone. When we give our heart in charity, our lives are transforming into songs. Our dreams become reality. And we join Jesus for eternity. Now a song that's really calm me down. If I close my eyes to pray, I heard the sound the sea far away. If I close my eyes to pray, Jesus cradles me, in his arms I sway. Body harmonizes how well don't need a hay. Music lifts his spirits in sweet ballet. Nature's love, a constant giveaway. In joy and peace, my heart finds its way. If I close my eyes to pray, Jesus cradles me, in his arms I sway. If I close my eyes to pray, Jesus cradles me, in his arms I sway. Body harmonizes how well don't need a hay. Music lifts his spirits in sweet ballet. Nature's love, a constant giveaway. In joy and peace, my heart finds its way. If I close my eyes to pray, Jesus cradles me, in his arms I sway. If I close my eyes to pray, Jesus cradles me, in his arms I sway. Now I'm gonna sing a song, The Good Old Man. Blue crystallized color of the sky, gray bushy beard, Santa's look alike. Shine on your brother, suffering, living joy, or in pain. Blue crystal eyes, colors of the sky. Green bushy beard, Santa's look alike. Shine on your brothers on earth, suffering, living joy, or in pain. Busy at this apostle of the good, receive our praise. and also our heart. Blessed Ebenezer, apostle of the light, place our pain at the feet of Jesus Christ. Blessed Ebenezer, apostle of the good, receive our prayers and also our heart. Blessed Ebenezer, apostle of the light, place our pains at the feet of Jesus Christ. And the last song, it's called Love in Action. But Jesus, here I am, my knees on the floor, say thank you, my Lord, for the lights that come through this door. Your love is the key to change the entire world. Using these chains wisely, we will live in peace and harmony. Now I understand, helping others is helping myself. Your words now are so crystal clear. Your teachings have no frontiers. To see how this transformation, we just have to put love in action.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Spiritist talk. We are very happy you are here. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, Publio, for those prayers in form of song. Thank you, Rodrigo Villa, for fixing everything under the hood for us. Before we start, as usual, we would like to share a few announcements. We ask you to turn off your phone notifications and, if possible, find a quiet place. Our meeting will have a 30-minute presentation followed by Q&A. Then after the presentation, we will have a spiritual treatment with passes and magnetized water. So we invite you to set aside a container with water to be magnetized. Our meeting is being retransmitted today by Continental Concafres Americas through their Facebook and also every Wednesday at 8 p.m. by Kardec Radio through their Facebook and YouTube. And for those who want to learn more about Spiritism, Get to Know Spiritism is a free and online course that happens every Saturday at 5:15 p.m. Eastern. New class started September 7th, but you can still join us. The registration link is going to be pasted in our chat. Let us know if you have any question. And we also offer virtual live gospel at home, in case you don't know. The gospel at home is an effective support for you and your family's spiritual harmony. And we help by motivating and guiding you in establishing and maintaining the gospel at home. By posting in the chat, you can request it. Let us know. And you are mostly welcome to include your or someone else's names in our list of positive vibrations, whether incarnate or discarnate. The person you indicate will be assisted by good spirits to provide healing energy and strengthen goodwill. Please also find the link in our chat. And finally, the topic of today's meeting will be an earthly kingship, item 8 from chapter 2, My Kingdom is Not of This World, which will be facilitated by our dear sister Ana Oliveira from Alabama. Everyone is welcome to comment and question in our chat, and they will be addressed at the end of the talk. And now it's time to invite tonight's speakers, who will also be doing our opening prayer.
Hello.
How are you, my dear?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm glad you acknowledged everybody on the background, right? People do not know. It's a lot of
Yes.
hands of love that make this possible, every week.
Well, good luck in your talk. We are always
Uh,
happy to hear you.
Thank you,
God
friend.
bless you. Talk to you later.
Okay. So, my friends, with our hearts full of gratitude, thanking God for this opportunity to be together, let's enjoy this time together here to the fullest. And let's start with our initial prayer. So, let's close our eyes, breathe in and out, seek the presence of our Master Jesus with his presence that is secure, there is welcoming and friendly, but there is also strong and kind. And let's feel all the peace and the light and the grace that comes from our Master Jesus into all of us. These blessings, these rays of comfort and of love. They fill all the spaces that we are right now. They link our hearts one to another, forming this beautiful chain, a chain of love and of nutrition to our spirits, of strengthening our goodwill, of empowering and exceeding and extending our faith and our hope in the future. May our Master Jesus stay with us tonight and after the talk too, during the treatment, so that we can really nourish our souls and we can get to our inner self a little bit of that light that is going to help us be a better person, but also to face any difficulties that we might be facing in our lives now. Jesus, thank you so much for your love. Stay with us, brother, always. So be it. All right, friends. So, with the help of Rodrigo, he's gonna help me with my slides. But like we talked today, we're gonna talk about still we're finishing up chapter 2. So today's item 8, an earthly kingdom. Next slide. So just not to rehash everything because my friends before me did a great job explaining this chapter. But just to remind all of you who follow us or maybe just, watching us and today, right, with this is chapter 2 of the Gospel according to Spiritism. So we talked about the future life, we talk about the kingship of Jesus, we talk about the point of view, right? And that's one of the points, no pun intended, that I want us to have today because I think since it's the end of the chapter, remember, towards the end of the chapter, Kardec always put a little instruction from the spirits, right? So it's a little message from my spirit that actually bring all the content kind of together, right? So, the point of view was talking a little bit about how do we apply what we're learning? What is the point of knowing or believing about the future life? And then the spirit's message for today is from a French queen, and it's about an earthly kingship. Next slide. So a few things that we cover. Like I said, this section of the gospel, it's a little bit shorter. So I thought it would be interesting for us to kind of review what we, saw before. And I really invite you all to really encourage you to read the chapter by yourself too. So, we are talking about the future life, which for us is the real life, right? This material life here, it's like a step, but the future life or the spiritual life is it's where we spend most of our time. It's one of the tenets of Spiritism, and it's very interesting how Kardec, in this chapter, he says that that's why he started putting this in the beginning of the book. And, it's after reading, when I started reading the Gospel according to Spiritism, I would just read like at random, right? Open the book, read one passage during your Gospel at home, and remember, if you would like to know more about the gospel at home and you need just a little help, maybe a little nudge or a little encouragement on how to get it started, we are here for you. Just let us know. But, if you see the order here, Kardec is a great teacher, right? He puts the biggest tenets of Spiritism in order and right in the beginning. So, last chapter, if you remember, he talks about I have not come to destroy the law. So, he's talking about the three revelations Moses, Christ, and Spiritism. Now we're talking about my kingdom is not of this world, the future life or the spiritual life and being very important, right, in Spiritism. Then, without too much of a, you know, spoiling the next chapters, but it talks about there are many dwellings in my father's house, right? So, another important pillar of Spiritism faith, right? Then he starts talking about no one can see the kingdom of God unless he is born again, talking about reincarnation. So once you know these, now you can start, going through the gospel with those lenses. And then he starts breaking down um, the Sermon at the Mount, and he goes on, with other parts of gospel, bringing more of the consolation. But the beginning, right, is really to set us up. And he says that the future life must be the goal of all persons, right? And he continues telling us that Jesus came to reveal it. Um, and Jesus gave us this idea, right? So that we are just not thinking about the now, right? Because the now, it's one chapter in our whole life, but it's not the whole story of our lives. And Kardec actually, he's really strong, right, about these, the importance of this, because of the belief in the future life. He says, if only a belief without absolute certainty, that may generate doubt and even disbelief, right? So Spiritism really make us think, right? What we're looking for is a strong faith, yes, but a rational faith, right? A faith that does not contradict logic, history, science, right? And he again is going to have a very strong, claim in this chapter, saying that the future life, it is a material reality demonstrated by facts and by eyewitnesses. So, and this is what we're going to see today, right? Through the side of Spiritism, that is also a science, and through mediumship, we have, like in Brazil, usually in Portuguese, people say, oh, I'll believe in the future life when somebody from the other side comes and tells me how it is. Well, guess what? Many people already came and told since from the time of Kardec, and they keep coming and telling us what it is, right? How it is. And, so I know sometimes devices are free, so maybe they're not worth a lot, but we should all take that into consideration. So that's what Spiritism brings us, is this window to this other, right, part of our life, and that awaits us. But why believing that, right? And Kardec um, tell us, and I'll go over to today a few examples, so that you can truly count for yourself how many spirits, if we can go to the spirits book, and with all Kardec's methodology, right? Very scientific and very pragmatic to really get this information. And when this chapter starts, is really um, when Jesus is, in prison, and then he's asked, are you a king, or are you the king of the Jews? And he says, yes, I am a king, but my kingdom is not of this world, right? And this is the idea today that we're gonna talk about, because Jesus wants to really make sure that he's not talking about the kings and queens that we know. He is a noble king. He really is, but his kingdom is not of this world. His kingdom, it's not like an earthly queen or king that once they die, what happens? They don't continue being king or queen, right? It's the next one in the line of succession that takes over and becomes the new king or queen. But with Jesus, because his moral um, it's so high, and because his kingdom is not of this world and is not just so superficial like that, then that's why the times pass and he's still our king, right? um and towards the end, right before the message we're going to talk about today, Kardec says that the clear and precise idea that one holds of the future life provides an unshakable faith in the future, right? And Marcelo last week really talked to us about how this idea can help us better face our challenges, because they usually say we can withstand, we can go through things as long as we know that they are not forever, right? So we know that our hardships, the things that we are going through in this life, they are not forever. We are forever, right? We are eternal spirits, but not our difficulties, just like Marcelo said last week. Also, we it's easy. Can you imagine? I remember my son, he was young, and I was driving, and he was in the back seat, and he's cute. I mean, not because I have any bias, of course not, but he was like, "Mom, do you know that it's hard to be good?" I said, "I know, son. I really know. It is hard, but that is the good thing, So if we just go with the flow, we might just make bad choices, right? To really be good, we have to really pray and vigil, right? Like Jesus said. So, but if it is hard, like even at a young age, he could already, and I'm like, yes, I'm glad at least you learned this. It's hard, but it's worth it, right? To try to be good, or the best that we can. But if I was it's so hard, and I'm working, 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 but then when I die, nothing exists after that. Why should I be working on that, right? So the future, the belief in the future life expands our eyesight, our vision of our own, right, our own condition as human beings, but also of the problems, of the difficulties, of the good things too, right? We have to be thankful for those, but they are not forever also. So it helps us digest that and actually have a better and a more mature and more responsible way, right? And then I know that if this birth or this life I keep going, then I know that, it's worth to really try to be better a little bit every step, because I'll carry that over with me. And in this message today is really interesting, because that's what the Spirit says. I invested all my life with this, and what did I carry of this with me? And she's going to tell you nothing, right? So that's, if we the whole thing about spiritism, to me, it's nice to know things. Yes, I love to know things, but I think we are here together, and we're here listening to Jesus and his message for the so what, right? So I know this, it makes sense, I believe in it, so what, right? Remembering the Christ too, when he said that our yes should be yes and our no should be no. So as I have my thoughts, then I have my feelings, and I have my behavior. They all should go in the same line. It cannot be that I think yes, but then I feel no, and then I act maybe, right? So everything has to be in the same line, right? So that's why we are here, right? That's why Spiritism is a consolation, because it should be really something that we go for, that we really nourish ourselves, that we remind ourselves of the message of the Christ, so that we can live better, right? We can become better persons. Next slide. So here we're going to talk about this message, right, from the Spirit's teaching. Next. So she starts this message like that. Who better than I to understand the truth of these words of our Lord? My kingdom is not of this world. When on earth I lost myself through pride, who then can understand the total lack of value of the earthly kingdom if not I? What was I able to bring with me of my earthly regality. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. And as if to make my lesson more terrible, it did not even accompany me to my tomb. Right? So it's not even like we're in old Egypt and we are, pharaohs that we can at least put it all inside the pyramid and lock it over there. No, most of us will just have, our coffin fits us, right? Our earthly body. So we are not taking with us anything that material. And, can you see how also, it's our pride too. Can you imagine everybody it's bowing to you? It might be that sometimes you don't need to be a queen or a king for people to kind of have this kind. You just need to be a supervisor or somebody who has money or some kind of position. People sometimes would be, kind of, just saying, "Oh, how wonderful you are. Oh, you're so great." And if you are not humble, right? If you're not working on yourself, you really can lose yourself and really think like she was thinking, oh, I'm a queen. So, you know, when I die, right, I'll have a kingdom also waiting for me over the other side. Next slide. So then she continues, really portraying how she lived. And then she's going to come to the point of what happened when she got there. So she says, a queen amongst men. I thought to enter heaven, heaven as a queen. What disillusion. What a humiliation when instead of being received as a sovereign, I saw above me, a long way above me, those whom I had judged insignificant and whom I had despised because they were not of noble blood. Right? So, why Kardec put that message there? Right? I think this is to teach us and for us to really see ourselves. And maybe it's not that, I'm a queen, but sometimes the people in my house, they think I'm a queen because my family, I behave as a queen for them, right? So, or at work, people might think that I think I have noble blood because that's how I behave. So, it's it's queen, but how many people can, how many women can be queens? But I think it fits, right? If we really look, this hat can fit any one of us. Next, she says, "Oh, how I understand now the barrenness of honors and splendor so eagerly courted on earth." Right? And this message is from 18 something. But that's still the goal of most of us, right? It's seeking and looking for the superficial things that, related to honor, to splendor. That's what we value, that's what we seek, that's what we look for, right? In some professions, worse than others, but that's even in our professional um, training that is ingrained in us that we should not think who we are, what we're doing, but how many awards we have, how many publications we have, how many prizes we got, how many lectures we gave, or how many math problems we solved, or how many stocks we sold, and so on and so forth, right? Next. She says, in order to win a place in this kingdom, right, the kingdom of heaven, or, that is Jesus is the king there, it's necessary to show abnegation, humility, benevolence, and charity in its most celestial form, right? So it's also, these are not just kind words or empty words, right? These, it's like she's saying, it's abnegation, humility, benevolence, and charity in its most celestial forms. They do not ask who you are, nor what position you occupied. Instead, they ask what good you have done, how many tears you have dried, right? So it's that, so what? Okay, you got this wonderful opportunity of a reincarnation. You were even more lucky to be in power and have resources as a queen. What did you do with that, right? It's not how many people recognize your um, condition as a queen, but what did you do with that, right? This is what you got. So what? What did you do with that? Did you help others, right? Did you really just live that superficial life, or you really learned about yourself and, you know, tried as much as possible, even though you are in this material world, to not be distracted so much, with all this materialistic information, right? Next. She said, "Oh, Jesus, you said that your kingdom was not of this world because it is necessary to suffer in order to reach heaven. And one cannot reach there by means of steps to a throne, right? Only the most painful paths lead one to it. Seek your path then through briars and thorns and not amongst the flowers." And again, she's really giving us a lot of pictures and a lot of things, but let's not go too much over, the other extreme. It's not that we can only, right, reach the kingdom of heaven if we suffer, right? Because it's not just the suffer, it's suffer well, right? It's how we go through things, but it doesn't mean that we need to be seeking, right, just the bad things. We deserve good things too. We can have good things. The thing is the focus. It's what am I putting more of my energy, right? Am I just thinking about the glories, the good, the material things, or am I also thinking, beyond myself, to others? Do I really just look, in front of me, or just to myself, or do I look around and I see, okay, I can help somebody, and then somebody can help me, right, in other things? Next. She says men and women hurry to and from with the hope of acquiring earthly possessions, as if they would be able to keep them forever. Here, however, illusions disappear, and it's soon perceived that they had been chasing shadows. Then it becomes apparent that the only really golden possessions, the only ones which we can make use of in their heavenly home, the only ones which can offer the possibility of entry, have been despised. And I don't want that feeling for anybody, right? Not for me, not for the people that I love. And but unfortunately, talking about again bearing witness and telling us how it's over the other side, many spirits, most of them, their regrets are those that even when they are prepared for their missions or for their births or their incarnations in the spiritual world, when they come here, they lose focus, right? They get distracted. And then when they come back, that is the worst feeling. Is the feeling that you wasted time, that you didn't do something that you could have done, right? So she's really talking about, right, that once we get over the other side, and in the message she was also saying they don't ask what you did, like what position you had, but what you did with the position that you had, right? How many tears you drew. And it's even more than that. It's not that they will ask. Some people, we would ask ourselves, right? It's our own conscience that it's gonna say, oh, okay, that was not what it was planned, right? It was a little bit of a waste of time. I just now over this side, I see how precious that opportunity was, and I didn't take advantage of it, right? So these messages, I think, is not to scare us, right, but really to bring alert, right? And if we're already in this path, we're already seeking to be a better version of ourselves, they should motivate us. They should not be something to really scare us, right? Next. And then she finishes, with a good thing, with asking for prayers and saying for us to have pity on those who have not entered into heaven, to help them with our prayers, because prayers help mankind approach the Most High. It is what links heaven and earth, and do not forget. So that is really a message, right? It's very simple, but very well given. It shows us what it was and what is now, right? How one behaved or how one lived its life. And upon entering the spiritual world, then what happened, what was waiting for them over the other side, right? So, next. So, again, that's my reflection, and I hope that we really think, why should we believe in the afterlife, and what is the impact that that has in our lives? Next. So also I know this is about the gospel, but I wanted to bring a little bit what science says about it. Next. So I have this paper. It's from the journal Lancet. Is a very prestigious scientific journal. So it's Lancet Psychiatry, and the number of studies on spirituality has grown a lot. Even though it has been, and this is one of the topics of this paper, is really spirituality and mental health challenges and opportunity. So it mentions here how, with Freud, he really thought that the domain was a form of neurosis, right? The spirituality was that. But there were a lot of other psychologists that, like Jung, like Frankl, and William James, that didn't think so, right? So um, we see that a lot of people, you can go to the next one, a lot of people are religious, and I know this is very big, but hopefully I can put in the chat maybe later the link. This is a free article, so you can read the whole thing. But some of the points is that there are a lot of benefits that studies have found for people who have spirituality. And if we see the vast majority of the religions, they believe in an afterlife, right? We might not agree on how it is, but we do believe that we do not just end, with the death. And so we can see that it's better for marriages. It protects against um, suicide, so helps people deal better with some treatments and bad diagnosis. Of course, it also can have um, bad if the religion, the spirituality, that is even be more than just having a religion, if that it's related to violence or trauma, or anger towards God and other things, that can be prejudicial to your mental health. But they do agree that a lot of studies show that is beneficial. So, we have been talking about, Kardec's idea of how um, believing in the future life, or in the kingdom of heaven that Jesus talked about in this spiritual life, can help us with our moral, right? It can be that motivation, and it makes sense. And, through Spiritism, we know what happened, that there is an afterlife, so that is a certainty for us. But I also wanted to show some signs that science also it's looking into that, and also it's making us think about those things, that is also good for our health, in this case to our mental health. And if it's good for our mental health, it's going to be good for our physical health too. The same way, if it's our spiritual health, will be good for our mental health, and will be good for our um, you know uh, just our health in general. Next. So it just goes with a lot, and actually it encourages now the practitioners, the people who are mental health practitioners, to include a little bit that. And there has been also some new guidelines for um, mental health professionals to include the spirituality in the treatments too, according to what the person believes, because that it's helpful, right? And even talks about also the responsibility, because it says here that people usually, when they have a problem, they go to clergy more than they go to the doctor, 3 to 2. So we need to be, as a church, or as a religious group, or as a group that marches together for one objective, to be able to help each other too, that way. Next. So there are plenty examples, right? From, I love the one on from Andre Lewis, right, from that movie, and also the book Our Home or Astral City, where he's in the umbral, and it is in chapter 2, and he's talking that he's just so hungry, and he's running, and he doesn't even know what he's running from, but he doesn't stop. And he talks about how that is how he's feeling in the umbral, and these spirits are telling him that he died of suicide. And finally, when he stops and he prays, so he elevates himself, that's when he's able to see the help that is out there. So I just love that part in the chapter, in this whole book. I mean, there's so many good things, and but in this book, but for me, this is almost like I don't need to be in the umbral to feel like a little bit like Andrew Lewis, running where, hungry of what, thirsty for what, because I'm just going and going and going. So to remind us to stop, to breathe, to take a breath, right? To step back and to just, listen to yourself, reminding ourselves. And then once he did that, the help was always there, but he couldn't see, he could not reach that. So as we face our difficulties, I really pray and hope that we can stop, think, breathe, ask for help in a humble way. And he was able to move from the umbral to our home, or Nosolar, or Astro City. There was a colony, and we can see that it's so different, right? But he had to get over. And he says that that's because he didn't have any spiritual, he said he would mock or not believe in any religions, but at that moment when he really needed, there was no more place for him to hide or to run. He was just exhausted. He says that I felt like praying, because there must be a God out there, a creator, right, that I can talk, and that can help me, that cannot forsake me. And there are other books too, especially in the same collection, right? Astro City, or Our Home, is just the first book of 13 books. Um, and then also remember Heaven and Hell, at by Kardec, towards the second half of the book, or the end of the book. It's just really with like spirits that came back, right, and said how they are living now in the spiritual world, and comparing to how they lived here. Um, Next. And I am always almost finished. So really, future life. That was like the biggest topic of this chapter, right? Chapter 2 of the Gospel according to Spiritism. So, my questions are, do you believe in it? But really believe, right? Like Kardec said, like certainty. And how does that belief impact your life, right? So, as you go about your life, you know, sometimes it's so easy to think, oh, everything now is doomed, to lose hope in people or to lose hope in life and things like that. But if I know that my life is not just that little piece of string, but it's a whole rope, right? So there is before this part that I'm living right now, and there will be the after. And the after will depend on the present right now, right? And remembering that I forgot what I did before, which is a blessing, so that I can really be motivated and I can really be empowered to start anew and continue. And I think the next one is probably my last slide. So, as I was also today looking at some of my pictures, sometimes if I see a phrase or something, I save that as a picture so I can read it later. And this is something that popped up this week, and nothing is at random, but it says, don't confuse your path with your destination. The path may be rocky now, but it's going to lead you to amazing places. So, you know, your life right now, it's a step towards who you will become, but that is not the whole you, or that is not going to be the only experiences that you have, or this experience does not mean to be forever. So even if the path is rocky now, believe, right, that, and keep your eyes on the prize, you know like my sweet Victor said, that it was so hard to be good. Don't think about the hardship, but think about that what you can accomplish if you really stay true, right, to, if you have discipline, if you work on yourself and you really stick with the good. And I think the last slide is just the topic again. So we finished the chapter 2, and I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Anna. It's so soothing to hear about the gospel from you. Thank you for sharing that with us.
Thank you, friend.
I remember I have been studying or reading with more careful eyes Nossola, our
Mm-hmm.
home Astro City,
Mm-hmm.
and it's amazing how much wisdom is
Yes,
in each paragraph
right.
of that book. So
Exactly.
highly recommended.
Yeah. I totally agree.
We have a question from yours truly.
Okay.
While on Earth, how can we shorten the distance between both kingdoms? And can we experience at least glimpses of the kingship of Jesus here?
Hmm. Yeah, I really think that we can, have this glimpse of this kingdom. Jesus said his world, right, his kingdom is not of this world, but it doesn't mean that we can start building that right here, right? It's hard, but it's impossible. I feel like sometimes when we are here, right, with like-minded people, we cheer for each other, and we value each other so much. That is what the kingdom of heaven is gonna be, instead of that bickery, right? But unfortunately, not all of our relationships are like that. I think our other friend Rodrigo too knows, when we go to our Spiritist meeting, what you feel like in Astro City, because everybody's there, and all everybody thinks is about doing the work, and helping others and learning, and you just happy to see each other, you connecting, at that energetic side. So you really feel you you ascended a little bit, but to bridge these two, I think it's just a lot of work, and it's a lot of goodwill too. And some days you'll feel more closely to one kingdom than the other, but the important thing is continue the work the next day and keep seeking. And if some days it doesn't feel like the kingdom of heaven is just so far away, you know just keep working. It will feel closer and closer every day, I think so.
Wonderful. Well, thank you again, Anna.
No problem.
Always nice to hear you here.
Thank you, friend.
God bless you and see you next time. All right, and now it's time to move to the preparation for tonight's spiritual treatment. Pass is the transfusion of spiritual energy with the goal of assisting with our physical, emotional, and mental balance. Passes help help us restore a state of harmony and peace by replacing negative energy with positive energy. And in order to receive the best benefits from passes, please follow the audio instructions or remain in prayer. You may close your eyes if to help with mentalization. During the pass, the water you set aside will also absorb the spiritual energy that you and your family can benefit from. And we are now going to make a prayer in preparation for the pass, which will be our closing prayer as well. So I ask you to close your eyes and to picture Jesus not in a distant kingdom, but close to us, because He is close to us. And let's be grateful for another moment of nourishment of our spirits, a little bit of this heavenly kingdom reached us now when we studied the gospel, when we united in the name of our Master. Thank you, Father. Thank you for this group. Thank you for this work, for the support we receive every day from our guardian angels, our friends in this spiritual world. Thank you for Anna, for the donation of her time, dedication, preparation, for sharing the water of life with us tonight. I ask you to bless her, her family, and help her with all she needs. This is not a work of one hand. Many hands are involved. I ask you, Father, to bless each one of us, part, member of this group. Help us overcome our challenges, strengthen our faith and our commitment with your work. Help us be better Spiritists, better Christians. We ask you as well, Father, that you help every name left in our vibration list. May your peace fill their hearts, their souls. Help them overcome their challenges as well, we ask. And we ask you that you stay with us, that you help us shorten this distance between our earthly kingdom and this heavenly kingdom. Help us be better, even a little bit, day after day. Oh Father, it's in your holy name that we pray. Amen.
Let's get ready for the pass and water fluidification. Please get a container with clean water to be fluidified. Brothers and sisters, it does not matter where you are, what type of hardships you are going through. Jesus is always ready to come and help us. Place yourself in a comfortable position which can make it easy for you to reach concentration and receptiveness. Breathe slowly and easily. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Fill up your lungs with air and let it out very slowly. Let tranquility and peace energies penetrate your lungs and move throughout your body. Your soul in harmony with your body feels easy and in peace. Let's imagine Jesus' passage. A clear day, the sun's golden rays illuminate the happy passage in Capernaum. A lot of white houses, multicolored vines, and hopping birds fill the landscape with optimism. The news about cures attracted the crowd in need. Suddenly, Jesus appears slim and handsome. His tunic was hanging down to his feet. At sunset, all those with sick people hit by several illnesses would bring them, and as he placed his hands over each one, he would heal them. This is what Luke the evangelist says. Let's imagine Jesus approaching you. He holds his friendly hands over our head. Notice that from his generous hands, a waterfall with clear and pure water originated from his love come to bathe you. It flows on your head, goes down your shoulders, bathe all your being, and brings you peace, serenity, and balance. They remove all impurities and pacify you. Feel the water bathing you, cleaning. Breathe. Now, imagine Jesus as a sun before you. His light, his warmth surrounds you. Feel the healing energy that comes from Jesus towards you. He hears your prayers. Trust him. His love is endless and it follows you and protects you. It provides you with everything you need. Have faith. Absorb the healing energy from Jesus. His light surrounds you. Feel the energy going through all your body. Feel stronger and in peace. Lord Jesus, our divine friend, reach out your generous hands, Lord, and change this water into medicine for our physical and spiritual illnesses. Protect us, Jesus, with your peace. Spread those vibrations of love throughout my home, Lord. May peace, health, and tranquility reign here. We are very grateful to you, Jesus. Stay with us today and forever. Thank God. Please remember to use the fluidified water.
And thank you again for joining us tonight. We'll be back next Tuesday here on Spiritism Canada and Continental Concaffres Americas at 8 p.m. Eastern, and next Wednesday on Kardec Radio at 8 p.m. Don't forget to follow Spiritism Canada on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, and the Spiritist group Path of Light on Facebook as well. Have a wonderful night. God bless you.
Sometimes it's not so easy. Sometimes it's not so close. Sometimes we build our dreams, but then we see them decompose. When you feel down the dumps, feeling sad and blue, give life a chance, my friend. The sun will shine again on you. Believe you can come through. The rainy days are true. Have little faith in you. Maybe tomorrow you can dream all your dreams again. Though some sorrow remains, it doesn't mean the end. Believe you can come through. The rainy days are true. Sometimes okay to feel blue. Have little faith in you. Dream all the dreams again. Though some sorrow remains, your dreams can get you through. Have little faith